Welcome to the Select Board meeting Tuesday, October 17, 2023. Mr. Canty?
Pursuant to changes made to the open meeting law by the Massachusetts Legislature, temporarily, this meeting will take place using the Zoom webinar platform in a hybrid format. Members of the public who wish to watch this meeting may join us at the Great Hall here at Town Hall, or may join us remotely via Zoom on the link provided in the agenda posted on the town website.
Thank you. Please join the board in the pledge to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The board is going to go into two executive sessions. Well, one, but two items. I'll read them. The Select Board will hold an executive session pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, Clause 6, to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of property if the chair declares that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body. Holtec International, Pilgrim Nuclear Power Plant, value of real property, American Cruise Lines docking agreement lease. The Select Board will hold an executive session pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 30A, Section 21, Clause 2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel, or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel if the chair declares that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body. Contract negotiations with non-union personnel. The board will be returning at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd make a motion that we enter into the executive sessions that you've outlined.
And I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
Second it. Mr. Blutzer?
Yes.
Mr. Helm?
Yes.
Mr. Canny?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
And myself, yes. The board will be returning approximately 6 p.m. Thank you. October 17th, 2023. Let me start by saying I apologize for not being right on time, but in our last negotiation, we had to wait on some department heads, and everybody couldn't be there right at the right time, so it was a little bit of a delay, but in the long run, after town meeting, I think you'll all be happy with the outcome. Okay, so we're going to move on to the licenses. Any questions or comments on the licenses? And administrative notes.
Mr. Chairman, I don't have any questions, but if no one else has any questions, I'd first make a motion that we approve the licenses and permits as a group.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Canty, second by Mr. Blutzer. Discussion? Mr. Blutzer?
I vote yes.
Mr. Helm?
Yes.
Mr. Canty?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Unanimous.
And if there's no questions on the administrative notes, I would make a motion that we approve the 7 administrative notes as a group, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Canty, second by Mr. Blutzer. Discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Mahoney?
Just one quick question for the town manager. All right, so Derek, you could follow up with Mr. Gould. Administrative note number 2, he's applying for a federal grant for $6 million for a fish bypass over there by the gristmill, and just not exactly sure how that process works with respect to applying for federal grants. And I do know that a significant project over there was the dredging at Jenny Pond, and just how do those two correlate and what the status was of, because I believe Jenny Pond is also contingent on getting federal matching funds. So I just want to make sure that we're not cannibalizing ourselves over there.
Sure, I can follow up with Mr. Gould and report back.
And then, to tag along with John, I believe there was money in there for lighting and stuff, and I hope it's all green lighting and up to par. I know I keep asking
LED.
about it in every project as we go forward, but
Yep,
I'm really hoping that that whole project can be energy efficient or green.
Yep.
Thank you. Mr. Blitzer?
No, it's a great project. I've seen the plans, and it's going to be beautiful. I think it's next year. Is that right, Derek? Next year for that, hopefully it's going to start.
I'd have to check. I
Yeah.
know it's contingent on some.
It's
some
going to
funding
be,
for it.
it's going to be a beautiful project when it's done, so.
Charlie, how do you vote?
Is that what you wanted? Yes.
Yeah. But I like listening to you, Chuck. It's my job. Is that a yes?
That's a yes.
All right. Mr. Helm?
Yes.
Mr. Canty?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
And myself, yes. All right. In your packet, you have a Memorial Advisory Committee Rules, Regulations, Policy Update. Any questions, comments, red lines? Yes. Welcome.
Good evening, folks. My name is Dave Golden. I'm the chair of the Memorials Advisory Committee. Before we get to the policy, I wanted to update you folks on some of the work that I'm doing with the IT department. We created an electronic version of the Memorials Advisory application. It collects all the relevant information for the person sponsoring the honorees memorial. It also informs the public a little bit more about what it is that we allow to be named for honorees. Chris, would you mind scrolling down just a little bit? The form's very smart. Joe Young spent quite a bit of time on this. If you wouldn't mind, Chris, clicking on the applicant's relationship section. It's near the top there. There's a drop-down menu that asks you if you're a family member or an executor or executrix of the estate. If you wouldn't mind clicking executor, Chris. It's smart enough to know when you select certain fields that we need additional information. So in this case, we accept court documentation to support that you're the executor of the estate. If you wouldn't mind, Chris, selecting type of memorial. It's the next drop-down. Here we see plaque, bench, which are the two most common memorials we see. We also allow naming public property. If you wouldn't mind selecting public property, Chris. The form updates us as to what you can name, namely a wall in town, a town-owned building, rooms within a town-owned building, pre-existing park bench, playgrounds, or future street signs. If you go back up to that drop-down one more time, Chris, and select Other, we also allow the public to choose really anything else that they might wish to do for a memorial. This form will shoot out to all the members of the Memorials Advisory Committee, and I've been working with Brad and Joe to put together a website, so hopefully we'll have all this information on a page that will include our contact information as well in the very near future. Chris, I'm going to ask you to do one more thing. If you don't mind, on the very top, selecting the Town of Plymouth Memorial tab. The very, very top. Yeah. So I provided you folks with a red line copy of the changes that our committee made. We recently took a vote in our first meeting to approve these changes, and then just before this meeting tonight, I held another meeting to go through line by line, and the committee has once again affirmed those changes. Most of what we've done here is stylistic. You can see that we've changed Board of Selectmen to Select Board. We've changed a few words, deleted some extraneous information. If you scroll down quite a bit more, Chris, the meat of what we've done is to put a timeline on ourselves of 60 days to respond, and then under responsibilities of the applicant, in working with the town, we recognized that there was a need to create a responsible party, so that if there were any inquiries about the memorial or if there were any issues relating to that memorial, we knew who we would get in touch with. That is also reflected on the application as well. Again, most of the rest of this is stylistic, changing capitalized words that don't need to be capitalized, changing the name of responsible boards, and so forth. I'm happy to take any questions that you might have about the changes.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Blitzer?
I don't have any questions. I want to commend you, your board, Steve and Tim Lawler, for putting this committee together quickly and getting organized. And I know I was involved a little bit in the McCarthy family. They dedicated a bench to their son and brother, Jimmy McCarthy from McCarthy's Towing. And I wasn't there because I was at a wedding, but I heard it was very well attended. And they had 100-plus people there on a Sunday morning, and they said it was a great event. And the bench looks great down there outside of Plymouth. So a great job approving that. And I know you probably have a few more coming down the pipe. But anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blitzer.
Any other comments from the board? No? Wish of the board?
I assume we need a motion to approve the updated policy? I would make such a motion to approve the updated policy.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Canty, second by Mr. Blitzer. Discussion? Mr. Blitzer?
I vote yes.
Mr. Helm?
Yes.
Mr. Canty?
Yes.
Mr. Mahoney?
Yes.
And myself, yes.
Thank you, folks, and
Good
Mr. Blitzer's
job.
right. We'll be sending you some applications soon.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Mr.
Thanks,
Gold.
Dave.
Okay, next we're going to go over to boards and committee appointments. This time I'm going to turn it over to the Vice Chair, Mr. Canty. Thanks for your help, Mr. Canty.
Certainly, Mr. Chairman. All right, so we have a number of board and committee appointments. We have first and foremost the applicants for the Affordable Housing Trust. So we would invite those folks to come up and give us a few words as to why they're applying, or if they're on Zoom, they could give their remarks over Zoom. Then any questions from members of the board to the applicants, and we'll go through sequentially through all the applicants that are present, and then we'd have a vote as to who we choose to appoint. So I'll go through the list. And Chris, do we have people joining us on Zoom as well?
Yes, we have David Drain.
Oh, great, he's first. So, Mr. Drain, if you
Yes,
would...
I'm on Zoom.
Yes, you have...
I'm here on Zoom.
Yes, I can see you on Zoom, so you may, if you have any opening remarks, and then we'd open it up to questions from the board that we may have for you.
I pretty much said it in my application, but I'm very much interested in getting a good mix of affordable housing in town so that we can keep the people that have grown up here in town.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Drain. Do we have any questions from any members of the board for Mr. Drain about his candidacy for one of these positions? Hearing and seeing no others. Mr. Drain, I've attended, although I had to miss the last one because I had to go to a budget hearing meeting. But recently, the Affordable Housing Trust, I think these vacancies that are here are because of, or at least one of them, is because of a challenge of attendance of the people that had been appointed to the trust. They meet on Wednesday mornings, I think once a month. So would those meetings, would you be able to routinely make those meetings if you were to be appointed to this position?
Yes. In fact, would I be expected to attend tomorrow morning's meeting? Or is there additional paperwork that has to be done before it's official?
You'd have to be sworn in by the town clerk before you could take your position. So I think you'd be off the hook for tomorrow's meeting. But you could attend for informational purposes if you wanted to get up to speed, but I don't think you'd be obligated to attend yet. But future meetings, that's the time of month and the time of day that they tend to happen. So those would be fine?
Yeah, I have no problem. I had attended several in the past,
All right, thank you, Mr.
just
Drain.
as a spectator.
Okay. Any other questions from any other members of the board at this time?
I have Mr.
Mr.
Vice
Blitzer?
Chairman. Mr. Drain, I have a question. Affordable housing will severely lack in that. What ideas do you have to try and help create affordable housing in Plymouth?
Trying to create affordable housing?
Right.
That's a tough one to crack, but I mean, I think we need to get more emphasis on builders building affordable housing. The last time I checked, the payment in lieu was woefully below the cost of building a house. I think that needs to be upped so that we can afford to subsidize houses that need to be subsidized.
Okay,
And I'm
thank
sure
you.
as I get into it, I'll have a lot more things, but that's what I can think of off the top of my head right now.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Drain. Any other questions, Mr. Blitzer? Any other questions from any other members of the board for Mr. Drain? All right, hearing and seeing none. Thank you, Mr. Drain. We're going to go through each of the applicants that are present before we begin the voting. The next on the list is Mr. Francis Mand, who is unavailable to attend tonight due to travel plans. He did send in a written submission that was forwarded to members of the board. So we have had the opportunity to review that. We thank Mr. Mand for sending that over to us. That brings us to the next listed applicant, which is Pamela Santini. Is Ms. Santini with us, either physically or over Zoom? Not over Zoom, and not physically. Okay. That would bring us to the next applicant on the list, Sandra Smith. You can give any opening remarks about why you're interested in the position, and then if we have any questions for you, we will ask away.
Okay, thank you. So I've been a realtor in the town for over 20 years in the area. Grew up in it as well, but not in Plymouth, so I'm not a Plymouthonian, as they say. But I've seen the highs, the lows, and the uglies of the real estate market over the last 20 years and tried to help several families and seniors try and find affordable housing and realize how tough it is. So when I was speaking with both Lisa Riley and Lee Hartman about this committee, I was very intrigued and wanted to be involved and be in the know.
All right, thank you, Ms. Santini. Any questions from Mr.
I have a
Blitzer?
question.
Sorry, Ms. Smith. My apologies.
That's all right.
Ms. Smith, in addition to being a realtor in Plymouth, what other organizations are you involved with in Plymouth?
I am a board member and ambassador with the Plymouth Chamber of Commerce. I am a board member on the Friends of the Council on Aging, and I'm on the committee with Harry for the Senior Task Force in Plymouth.
Okay. So you're pretty familiar with, as a realtor especially, is it a dire need between as your job as a realtor plus being involved with the seniors?
Very much,
You know,
yeah.
senior
I'm
housing is a real
also part
real
of a
concern.
networking group. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize. That just focuses on working with seniors and raising funds for grants for seniors in Plymouth County. So, yeah.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Smith. Any other questions from any other members of the board? If no one else does, So Ms. Smith, looking at your application, you were interested in the Affordable Housing Trust, and I'm just pointing that out because we have both one 3-year term for a Realtor seat, and you are a Realtor. There's also a 1-year term for an at-large seat, which could be filled by anyone, a Realtor or a non-Realtor. Your application, the other applicant that has Realtor listed on the agenda, applied specifically for the Realtor seat, at least noting that in the application. Would you be interested in either of the seats, or did you have a preference?
I would be happy to help in either position, in either seat.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Any other questions from any other members of the board? All right, thank you, Ms. Smith. That brings us to the next applicant, Adrian White, if I'm pronouncing.
Yep.
Hi there.
Hi. If you have any opening remarks about why you're
Oh.
interested in the position?
Yes, so I grew up in Plymouth, born and raised here. I've never volunteered. I just thought I could help in some way. As a Realtor, as well as what Sandra said, you know, I've seen the ups and downs and the housing market. So I'm not sure what our job would be, but I'm here to fake it till I make it, I guess.
All right, well, thank you. Any questions from any members of the board? Yes, Mr. Bletzer?
Ms. White, same question I asked of Ms. Smith as a Realtor. You must deal with first-time buyers.
All the time, and it's very difficult right now.
Yeah,
yes.
because of the affordability of Plymouth.
Definitely.
Also, the senior, folks that are trying to sell their houses and then trying to stay in town and maybe rent something,
Right.
that's
Or-
just as bad.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yep.
Would you be, as a Realtor, I know you applied for, would you take the at-large seat for a year, or you just set on being the Realtor?
No, either
Okay.
one.
Either one is fine?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. All right, thank you.
All right.
Any other questions from any other members of the board? Okay. Thank you, Ms. White.
Thank you.
All right, so we have heard from all the applicants that are present. We've received Mr. Mann's written submission, and his application, and we have Ms. Santini's application. So now I would open it up to the vote. So we have two positions. So I'm going to do first the 1 3-year term for Realtor. I will call on each member of the board. Please cast your vote for one applicant for the 1 3-year term. And then when we have concluded, I will tally the votes and determine who has been appointed to that particular position. So starting with Mr. Bletzer, who do you vote for the 3-year term Realtor seat for the affordable?
I'm going to vote for Sandra Smith.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Helm?
Sandra Smith.
Thank you. Mr. Quintal?
Sandra Smith?
Thank you. And Mr. Mahoney?
Sandra Smith.
All right. And I will vote for Sandra Smith as well, so that it makes it easy to tally, because Sandra Smith has acquired all the votes. So congratulations, Sandra Smith. You have been appointed to the 3-year term Realtor seat of the Affordable Housing Trust. So that brings us to the 1-year term for the at-large seat. Again, I will go through the roll like I did last time. Mr. Bletzer, who do you vote for the 1-year term at-large seat?
I'm going to vote for Adrian White, and I'm going to tell you the Realtor portion is very important to me on this committee, the Realtor experience. So that's why I vote for Adrian White.
Thank you, Mr. Bletzer. Mr. Helm?
Adrian White.
Thank you. Mr. Quintal?
Adrian White?
And Mr. Mahoney?
Miss Adrian White.
And the vice chair also votes for Adrian White. Congratulations, Adrian White. You have been appointed to the one-year term at-large seat. We look forward to your contributions to the Affordable Housing Trust. So that concludes the Affordable Housing Trust applications and appointments. That brings us to the Conservation Commission. It's a one seat for a 2-year term. We have 3 applicants. We have received their application materials in our packet. And we will again go through the folks there. Mr. Mahoney, you're raising your hand?
Yes. I don't know if Mr. Badeau knows this. This is filling a vacancy, a recent vacancy on Concom. And when does this vacancy expire? June 30th of 25 or 24? Okay.
1 2-year term, so it's probably
Got to be the 2-year term.
2025.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Badeau. Are we joined either physically or virtually by Kelsey Bellegarde? Casey? No, she could not attend. Okay. Are we joined physically or virtually by Paul Denoncourt? We are. I may have butchered your name. I apologize if that's the case. I took a run and go at it. Mr. Denoncourt, you have the floor if you'd like to introduce yourself and explain your interest in the position.
My name is Paul Denoncourt. I moved to Plymouth just in the end of 2019. I'm a retired physician. I'm interested in doing some public service. When I moved to Plymouth, it was just before COVID hit, so I joined the Massachusetts Medical Reserve Corps and worked as a COVID volunteer until for 2 years. And then I went and hiked the Appalachian Trail and completed that. I grew up in this area. I was an Eagle Scout, and for 9 years I was on the staff at Camp Squanto here in Plymouth, where I taught environmental sciences. My medical practice was in Maine. While in Maine, I was a registered Maine guide for 24 years. So between my scouting experience, my Maine guide experience, and the time on the Appalachian Trail, I've developed an interest in conservation, natural resources. I'm presently on the Board of Trustees at Camp Squanto. So that's my reason for my interest in being on the Concom.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Denoncourt. Mr.
Questions?
Yes, Mr. Mahoney, questions?
Paul, I've never hiked the Appalachian Trail, but I did summit Mount Katahdin earlier this year, and that's the northern terminus, so I'll take credit for that, okay?
Absolutely. It's the steepest mile of the trail is on Katahdin, so you have some mountain cred for that.
Okay, thank you. And I got lucky with the weather that day. It was perfect. Having said that, Paul, what's your interpretation of what is the role of the Conservation Commission?
To protect our natural resources, and I see there's a direct link between our natural resources and public health in the quality of air and water. I've looked, and we have a whole home of rules and regulations and bylaws and the like that need to be enforced. And so we see the Concom as being vital to enforce those rules and regulations and develop new rules as needed in the future.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other questions for the applicant? No questions? All right. Thank you, Mr. Denoncourt. Are we joined by Nick Pirelli, either physically or? All right, great. If you could take the microphone, and you have the opportunity to introduce yourself, explain your interest, and then I'll open it up again to questions.
Thanks. Good evening, members of the Select Board, Town Administrator, Manager. My name is Nick Pirelli. I'm deeply committed to conservation and enrichment in natural resources. Previous municipality, professionally, I did serve as Deputy Director of Parks and Recreation, so I work closely in that capacity alongside the conservation agent, serving also on the Open Space Committee as well as a professional. So it was something that I'm very familiar with and collaborated with alongside those folks. That role also, as Deputy Director, was responsible for the recreation on ponds, but also the active waterfronts. Not only did I work closely with the conservation agent in the town of Canton, but I am a certified park and recreation professional. And I use that to harmoniously blend both development and conservation and the needs of the community together. My experience and background has not only been working for a town, but in my previous community, before I moved to Plymouth several years ago, was serving on FinCom and being a town meeting rep. So I'm very familiar with the organizational structure and also the opportunities to collaborate amongst those different boards and committees. Professionally, I'm currently an executive coach, and I help professionals in government, local and state, town managers, assistant town managers, boards of selectmen that want to become town managers, and park and recreation, energy and leisure service professionals help achieve their career goals. It's nice to find the other applicants also an Eagle Scout. I'm also one, so it's nice to have a brother. And that foundation of an Eagle Scout has really helped me build a foundation for civic engagement. And I'm looking forward to serving this community in either the capacity of the Conservation Commission or the other commission, the other advisory board that I applied for today. Happy to field any questions or provide any insight. Thank you.
Mr. Bletzer, did you have a question?
Yes, you can't have enough Eagle Scouts in Plymouth, and we have quite a few.
That's
We
wonderful.
really do.
That's
It's very impressive. I just want to thank you for applying, and the other gentleman, and actually the other applicants. We get some great resumes, some great people that are applying for these committees, and we appreciate that.
Pleasure.
You've applied for
Two.
what's it? You applied for two committees.
Yes, sir.
What is your preference?
So I would be, let me kind of thinking about my servant leadership in me. I am more than qualified to serve on either one. I would say if
I'm going to vote for you for this committee.
Gotcha. So
If you don't want this committee,
no. So I'm happy to. It's wherever you believe I would be a better fit.
Okay.
So if there is a need for, in this case, someone, a strong person to enforce the Massachusetts, Wetlands Protection Act, then I'm here.
I think they're both very important, but we just
Absolutely.
lost a member, and we need somebody to get right in there and
Understood.
get back into it.
It's-
So I think you'd be a good fit there for that position.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Any other questions for this applicant, Mr. Pirelli? Mr. Mahoney?
Mr. Pirelli, so
Yes.
same question I asked Mr. Denoncourt. What do you see the role of the Conservation Commission as?
It's enforcing the statute of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. In Canton, in every community, really, you're working to protect our natural resources, enforcing the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, while also preserving not only the wetlands but the natural resources that we have.
Thank you.
Thank
got
you. Any other questions? If no one else, what would you say, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but you're an applicant for both. What would you say the role of the Natural Resources and Coastal Beaches Committee is?
So based on what I have read and seen, it's a little different, right? This is there are two different organizations. One is really enforcing an act and compliance, and the other is an advisory board to the Board of Selectmen. So I think there is probably an opportunity strategically to collaborate with those two groups. There's no reason that there can be some maybe large-scale collaboration efforts, but I mean they have two completely different functions. You know, one is looking at maybe long-term planning, and the other one is more focused on conservation, protection, and enforcement. So I really do see them as two very different organizations and boards and functions.
Okay, and given those two summations, which I appreciate, and I agree with your assessment of the roles, I'll circle back to Mr. Bletzer's question, just because we are fortunate to have a dearth of very qualified people applying for this as well as the other committee. We have the benefit of that. We had good applicants that didn't get appointed to the Affordable Housing Trust as well, so we appreciate that also. But we're likely only going to appoint you to one of these two.
Correct, and I assume that, because I'm also about making sure we do things right and not over, you don't want to burn out people and you want to share the wealth. So
right, and we
understand
also
that.
want to give other qualified folks the opportunity to serve too, and they are very qualified. But do you have a preference whatsoever between the two, or whichever we want to put you on?
I would yield to the board on making that determination.
Okay.
It would be a pleasure to serve in either capacity.
All right, I tried to get you to take us off the hook, but I guess you're not going to give us that opportunity. But but I appreciate it. All right, thank you, Mr. Pirelli.
Thank you.
All right. So, with no further questions, any discussion on any of the applicants before I call for the vote? Hearing and seeing none, I will start from the top. We have one seat on the Conservation Commission for a 2-year term. Mr. Bletzer, who do you vote to fill that seat?
I vote for Nick Pirelli.
Thank you. Mr. Helm?
Paul Denoncourt.
Thank you. Mr. Quintal?
Nick Pirelli.
Thank you. Mr. Mahoney?
Paulton Oncourt.
All right. And the vice chair votes for Nick Pirelli. So thank you to both Mr. Denoncourt and Mr. Pirelli. Congratulations to Mr. Pirelli. But we appreciate everyone that has applied for all of these positions. And as I said, we do have a large number of qualified applicants. So it was difficult to make choices this evening. Thank you. That brings us to Distinguished Visitors Committee. We have one applicant. Is that applicant Lisa with us?
She is not able to attend.
She is not able to attend. All right. So do we have any, we don't have anyone to question. Do we have any comments from the board before I call for a vote as to this application?
I'd like to ask, if I could,
Mr.
I'd
Bletzer?
like to ask Chris, if you heard from Ms. Majewski?
Yes, she shot me an email this morning and said that she couldn't attend.
Okay, so she's still interested? It is on.
No, she was talking about me.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so she did, so she's still interested. Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, thanks. That's it.
Okay. Any other comments or questions? If no one else does, I'm the Distinguished Visitors Committee designee from the Select Board. Having 12 members on the DVC is presenting some challenges. I believe it was increased from 6 to 12 in the recent past. There was a meeting this past week that coincided with the presentation and preview night for town meeting, which I was present for, and therefore couldn't go to DVC, and some other people were running back and forth. So because there's 12 members, not all of whom attend regularly, the quorum to have a meeting is 7, and because I was here, only 4 members were in that room. We needed 7 to be there, because some other people that do usually attend had some other life circumstances come up, and I had the presentation and preview night that I was attending. So I think that whether we want to not fill this seat or whether we want to talk in the future about titrating down the DVC to a lower number than 12, that may be beneficial in the future, given that it used to be 6 for a while, it was functioning, and there are some growing pains, literally and figuratively, with it being in that 12 figure. And unfortunately, with Ms. Majewski not being here to ask questions about her availability, I don't have any way of knowing whether this would make the situation better or worse, which is what gives me pause.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Bletzer?
My opinion on that is we posted this position. She applied. She corresponded this morning that she couldn't make the meeting but was interested. So I'm going to vote to appoint her. And then in the future, you should discuss about maybe downsizing that committee. As people leave, maybe don't replace them. But as of for tonight, I think she should be appointed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bletzer. Any other comments or questions from members of the board?
Was that a motion by Mr. Bletzer?
It wasn't, but if you don't have a comment or question, I could call for the vote to the vacancy. All right, I will do so. Mr. Bletzer, how do you vote?
Lisa Majewski.
Thank you. Mr. Helm?
Lisa Majewski.
Mr. Quintal?
Lisa Majewski.
Mr. Mahoney?
Lisa Majewski.
And I will also vote for Lisa Majewski. I look forward to meeting her. All right. That will bring us into the Energy Committee. We have one applicant for one-year term. Edward Booley, perhaps? Boulay. Well, I took a shot at it and missed the mark, but I did my best. Thank you. If you would like to introduce yourself at the podium, perhaps explain your interest in serving on the Energy Committee, and then we will open it up to any questions the board may have for you.
Hi, I'm Ed Boulay. I just moved to Plymouth in April. My girlfriend, I'm an electrical engineer for about 8 years, have my professional engineering license with Massachusetts. Just have an interest in energy and trying to help the town, so I thought, saw a vacancy on the board. I attended a meeting last 2 weeks ago, I believe, and was willing to try to help out any way I can.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Boulay. Any questions from any members of the board? All right. Hearing and seeing none. If there are no questions and any discussion, no discussion, I will call for the vote as to this appointment. Mr. Bletzer, how do you vote?
I vote Mr. Boulay.
Thank you. Mr. Helm?
Edward Boulay.
Mr. Quintal?
Edward Boulay.
Mr. Mahoney?
Edward Boulay.
And myself, Edward Boulay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And welcome to Plymouth.
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to Natural Resources and Coastal Beaches Committee. We have one full seat for a 2-year term, an at-large member. We have a number of applicants. I know one of the listed applicants previously withdrew after the agenda was posted, but that still leaves the first one listed, Lisa Bergendahl. Are we joined? She was not able to attend.
She was not able to attend.
All right. That brings us down to Nicole Nelson. We are not joined, and she did not give notice. All right. That brings us to Betty Lou Parker. Greetings. If you'd like to take the podium, Ms. Parker, say a few words about yourself, your interest in the appointment, and then we will ask you any questions we may have. You have the floor.
Okay, my name is Betty Lou Parker, and I moved to Plymouth, my husband and I, 3 years ago. And for the last 3 summers, I've
Is your
worked-
microphone on?
Oh, is it on? Am I not? I don't know.
okay.
The green light on?
Okay. The light is on, but nobody's home. Okay. Moved to Plymouth 3 years ago, and for the last 3 summers, I've worked for Natural Resources out at Long Beach. Just love being out there. Think it's a fabulous place. And I'm also a substitute librarian at Plymouth Library. But I wanted to be able to do something as a volunteer for the town. So here I am.
All right. Thank you. Any questions? Mr. Bletzer, did you have
Just
a
one,
question?
just one question. So you've been out there for a few summers on Plymouth Beach, and I'd just like to get your take on what goes on out there and what kind of improvements you could see us, the town manager's right here, and if there's anything that you think we could do to improve the conditions out there or the way we do things out
The
at Plymouth Beach.
conditions concerning parking or concerning...
Whatever concerns.
On the spot, I really couldn't answer that offhand, but I'm sure that there's some things that we could do differently. I think it works pretty well the way that it is.
And the condition of the beach.
Condition of the beach is, erosion happens. There's not a lot we can do to change that. I don't know about whether we should have more vehicles out there or less vehicles. Everybody in town gets upset about spending all this money for a sticker, saying they're not able to use it. But I'm more interested in saving the beach than I am allowing cars out there to park.
Okay. That was just for my information. Anyway, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions from any other members of the board? All right. Thank you, Ms. Parker. Mr. Nick Pirelli is still listed. Mr. Pirelli, are you still interested in giving a statement, or would you like to withdraw? All right. Thank you, Mr. Pirelli. So, all right. So that leaves us with, we have 3 remaining applicants for the 1 full seat here, 1 2-year term for an at-large member, the Natural Resources and Coastal Beaches Committee. Any discussion from members of the board before I call for the vote? Hearing and seeing none. Mr. Bletzer, who would you like to cast your vote for this
I'm going to
1
vote
2-year
for
term?
Betty Lou Parker, and I'll tell you why. She volunteered for the last 3 years out there, and I commend her for that. And so she's got a little history of what goes on, and now she wants to get involved. And I think that's great. She's going to be able to fit right in. Mr. Malaguti right here can probably orient you to what you're getting into and tell you what you have to do, okay? So I know you have to get sworn in if you get appointed, and let him know that. Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Helm.
Betty Lou Parker.
Mr. Quintal.
Betty Lou Parker.
Mr. Mahoney.
Betty Lou.
Parker.
Parker.
All right. And Mr. Canty will also vote for Betty Lou Parker. Congratulations, Ms. Parker, and welcome to the Natural Resources and Coastal Beaches Committee. So we, again, extend our thanks to all of the applicants, whether you were appointed or not, whether you received a vote or not. We'd read all of your application materials and all of your submissions. We appreciate you putting your name out there. And there were a number of people that were applicants for these positions that did not get appointed, but we encourage you to reapply for either openings on these boards or committees, or to look at other boards or committees in town. I believe at last count there were about 43 boards or committees, and if you wait around a little bit, we'll probably make a few more. So there's always opportunities to give back to Plymouth. So with that, Mr. Chairman, if you'd like the gavel back, it's yours to take.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Anyone wishing to speak under public comment? No. Okay, town manager's report, Mr. Brandisi.
All right, a few announcements. I want to first start by informing the board that the stop signs at Wareham Road and River Runway were supposed to be erected today. So hopefully we have remedied the problem down at Red Brook regarding that traffic. But that leads me into another traffic study we've just completed over in Pine Hills. So I think many of you know that Pine Hills has been constructing 2 large apartment-sized buildings, approximately 200 units. Those are coming online within the next couple weeks. So they will be populating those buildings, which is going to increase the traffic over there in Pine Hills. Specifically, the concerns raised by the fire chief and some residents around trying to get out of Pine Hills onto Clark Road. That study has been completed. We just got word today, and they will be recommending a signal light at the intersection of Clark Road and Pine Hills Drive. So we'll be working with Pine Hills. Actually, we're meeting with them next week to talk about this study. Did you have a question? Okay. Just a reminder, the bump outs for the outdoor dining, those will be removed on November 1st. Finally, we have executed a memorandum of agreement with the airport commissioners. In summary, what that really does, it clarifies the reporting structure. So in the past, the airport manager under the previous administration reported directly to the assistant town manager, and there was always kind of a disconnect with that. So it was my intention to work with the airport commission and, per your approval of the reorganization, have the airport manager be a part of the DPW. So the airport manager will be working directly with the DPW director on any operational needs, and will take its policy direction by the airport commission. So that's one piece that came out of the MOA. The other piece, the big piece that came out of that is, under Chapter 90, the airport commission has the sole responsibility to execute lease agreements on the airport. Effective with this MOA, they will be sending all lease agreements to the select board. So although we don't have any authority to approve them or disapprove them, at least we'll be kept in the information loop as far as what's happening over the airport relative to new tenancy. Just as a reminder to the public, hopefully businesses on the Water Street are watching this, we are planning on a November 8th public information meeting with the businesses and the abutters on Water Street regarding the restart of the sewer interceptor project. So again, that'll be November 8th. It'll start at 6 p.m. It'll be in this room. So we'll certainly notify all the abutters, but we'll also advertise that on the website and social media. So folks who are interested to learn more about the restart of the interceptor project, they can attend the November 8th public information meeting. There will be a flu clinic in this room on October 24th in the morning. So if folks that are interested, they want to get a free flu shot, please come here on October 24th. And then the last update I want to bring to everyone's attention is that there will be a kickoff meeting to start the conversation about the design of the new cemetery on Route 80. So that'll be on October 24th from 10 to 12 p.m. at the Vine Hill Cemetery. So I know, Mr. Chairman, I know you serve on the cemetery board, but for anyone else who's interested in that design, please let me know. I plan on attending that as well. Again, October 24th from 10 to 12 p.m. Pending any questions, that's all I have this evening.
Mr. Helm?
Derek, in regards to that traffic study, a couple questions you may or may not be able to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Did that traffic study in any way discuss or address the intersection of Clark Road and Landmark Drive?
It did. The warrant was not met on the traffic volume conditions regarding Landmark. However, the warrant appears to be met under the 2022 traffic volume conditions if the anticipated traffic volume set forth with the Bizzuto project are realized. So we're going to have, I think that's going to be part of our conversation, given that these buildings are coming online. Will the warrant have been met with those with those new tenants?
So the study seems to be indicating that when the Rowan comes online, that the threshold will be met.
That's what it's suggesting, right? It specifically says that it appears to be met. So
Okay, so they are saying that at Pine Hills Drive, it is already met.
that is correct. And there was another part of the study, just so it's clear with the full study, Clark Road and Meeting Way was also, that intersection was studied, and the warrant was not met under either conditions.
Okay. Does the traffic study mention for Landmark Drive beside the Rowan, the new development that they're sliding in next to Mirbeau?
It mentions the Bizzuto project.
Okay, but it doesn't mention the row of houses.
It does not.
That they're putting in, so that's even additional.
Not in the report I'm looking at.
So my question is, when Landmark Drive does meet that threshold, and Pine Hills Drive does meet that threshold, they are in need of traffic lights.
That's correct.
Who is responsible for paying for them?
From what I understand, Pine Hills is responsible.
Okay. Okay.
And then we will be meeting with Pine Hills next Wednesday, I believe, the Director of Planning and myself,
Okay.
and the DPW Director, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Derek, I just have one question, going back to the airport.
Yes.
And I know you said the leases will be coming back here. My question is on the new wastewater treatment plant that they're going to get in the building. I know that was previously done in their leases or whatever, and that really doesn't bother me as much as who's going to be responsible for the maintenance of the new facility. In other words, if it is the airport commission who is putting it with people's leases, we'll know that very soon. Is that money going to go back and pay for the maintenance and upkeep of the plant so we don't run into what the town just ran into?
So the airport enterprise account is responsible for paying for the maintenance of that facility. Right now, that facility is being managed by town staff.
Okay, so there
So
will
right
be
now, that's the
somebody
current model.
keeping their eye on the maintenance of
That's
that
right.
facility.
We have one
Okay.
individual that works up there. That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for the town manager? Thank you. Select Board, open discussion, new business?
Speaking of the airport, Mr. Chairman, the Airport Managers Association is having their convention from the 22nd to the 24th. They'll be at the 1620 Hotel and visiting our town, and so I'm excited about that. They have them there, and we've been invited to get down and actually welcome them Monday morning, and hopefully we can make it there. I know I'm going to be there, so anyway, that's it. Thank you.
Anyone else have anything on the new business? Letters? Old business? Okay. Motion?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for watching. Have a good week. We'll see you soon.